Hello everyone, in this video I will show how to retrieve the employees data from the database and display them in the JSP. I will use the MVC pattern to complete this task. Okay, this will be very useful to you guys. I will use Servlet as the controller, JSP pages as the view, and I will write a model class which will get the information, employees information from the employees table. Okay, let us start. I am going to show you the employees table in the Oracle database, which I am going to retrieve and show it to you. Okay. In the meanwhile, we will start developing the logic. We will write a JSP page, new JSP page, show all employees. Okay. Select start from employee. This is the table I am using for this one. Okay, I will retrieve all this data and display on the JSP page. I will show how to retrieve some of the columns. Okay, let us start writing a. I have already created a JSP page with a link. Ref is equal to show all employees. I will create a servlet. Okay, whenever I click on this link, that will be redirected to a servlet. The servlet acts as a controller. The servlet, using the model, get the employees data. It will add into the list in the request scope, and I will pick that array list from the request scope and display on the JSP page. This is what I am going to do now. Okay, now we have to create a hello world servlet. We will create an employee servlet, new servlet, class name employee servlet. I have to create a model class, new package org.jl.dao, new class employee model. List get all employees. Okay, import the array list. List emp list is equal to null. I will write the JDBC logic now. Okay, connection con is equal to null, statement st is equal to null, result set rs is equal to null. Import all the required classes, java.sql, java. All the JDBC related will be found in the java.sql package. You have to use capital S. Okay, now instead of using driver manager all this here itself, we can create a factory. New class connection utility. New Java package org.util. I will move this connection util to the removing this one as we already copied. In the connection util, we will write a method to get the connection so that we can reuse the same logic. Connection get connection. Okay, connection con is equal to null. Okay, then we will use like that. We will get the connection is equal to earlier use get connection. We have to give the database related details. Instead of wasting time, I will get the database related string from a sample program. We can add these lines here instead of wasting the time. I will explain. If you don't know how to use this JDBC API, refer my earlier tutorials. If there is any problem while getting the connection, I will just return the null, return con. Make it public static. Okay. Now we can reuse this logic wherever we want the connection. Now I will use this logic. I will create a DAO. Click finish. This employee DAO contains a method to get all the employees. List get employees. Import the java.util. Get the connection. I'm using connection util. I have already created the util to get the connection. I'm just using that. I get the connection. Statement st is equal to now. Result set rs is equal to now. Now write a query. We have to prepare a query. Select emp underscore id first name or last name from employees table. We will create a list. List emp list is equal to new array list. Import the array list. Import statement result set. Okay. Now execute the query. Is equal to st dot execute query of query. Now I iterate the result set. Try, catch. I'm not going to in detail how to handle exceptions and all those things. My intention is to explain how to use the servlet GSP to display the employees information. Okay. While rs dot has next, create an employee TO Java class employee org.jl. Create a constructor and create fields in emp underscore id private string fname private string lname you can generate right click source, click on generate getter and setters. You need not write all this stuff. You use the IDE for this kind of features. Okay, this is where IDEs get helpful. Okay, we will go to the DAO. Now while iterating, I will create each employee object and add it to the list. Import the employee class. emp dot set emp id rs dot get int of 1 emp dot set fname rs dot get string of 2. You can specify column names or you can specify numbers. 1 means emp id, 2 means first name, 3 means last name, like that. If you want, you can specify rs dot get string of this first name or last name, anything. Lname rs dot get string of 3. I'm creating one object and adding it to the list. I'm I'm adding to the list, and I will return. I have already written this. Okay, we can use generics also. I don't want to overcomplicate this. Okay, now we call this from the model, remove all this, return employee AO dot import the class I want dot get employees. So from the model I called the get employees, which will return a list. Okay, now I use this from the servlet. We will go to the servlet, and from the do post we will get the list emp list is equal to create a model object, import that em dot make it public so that it gets accessible outside the class. Em dot get all employees. We have to add this into the request scope by request dot set attribute emp list. Emp list is the attribute to which I am adding this list. So in the JSP I use this name to retrieve the employee list. Okay, now almost everything is done. We will go to the show all employees. In the web.xml we will update the URL pattern like this. Okay, so when show all employees is there in the request after the web application name, the request goes to employee servlet. Okay, now we will go to servlet, and after adding that we will create the request dispatcher. Go to request dot get request dispatcher of employees list dot JSP. That means I am forwarding the request to the another JSP. rd dot forward request response. So my request will go to the, I am forwarding the request to the JSP page. We have to create a page called employee list.jsp, new JSP, to get the list and iterate it. Though it is not a good practice, but still for demonstration purpose I am using the scriptlet to get the list from the request scope and iterate and display them. Request dot get attribute. We have to use the used the attribute emp list, so we have to use that in the JS page. Get that? So earlier in the servlet I have stored the employee list in the request scope with this name, so in the JSP I have to get that again to display them. That is what I am doing. We have to typecast to the list. We have to import percentage at the rate page import is equal to java.util.rest. Okay, now we are going to create the iterator. Iterator id is equal to emp list dot iterator while id dot instead of list we will add all those stars so that iterator will also be there. As next, get each employee object. Employee TOEMP is equal to id dot next. Import is equal to org.jl.start. We have to typecast. Okay, now I display them in the table format. Table in the I will display each employee information using the I will display three things. I am using the expression tag to get the value emp dot get emp id. Percentage equal to emp dot get fname. Percentage equal, this is called expression tag, get lname. Okay, if there are no mistakes we should be ready to go and test this. We will just restart the server once again. We will do one thing to see if there is an error. If there is an error, and to identify the bug easily, we will print this query for debugging purpose. e.print. Okay, we will restart the server and test this. First we have to go to show all employees data.jsp. http localhost 8084 slash, you have to give show all employees data.js. I didn't give the web application name, I forgot that. Let me add that. Hello world slash I given the port number 8080 it should be 48. Okay, now when I click the show all employees, I think there is some error. Let us see what is the URL pattern here. Show all employees. Let me see if I have used the same thing. Let us see if there is an error. Employee server. Okay, since I didn't mention anything, by default it will be get method. So let me copy all this here also, so that it will work for both do get as well do post. Okay, we will check again. We got some error, we will fix it. We didn't add the, by seeing this you can understand that we didn't add the ojdbc.jar. Whenever you want to connect to Oracle database, you have to add ojdbc.jar. My computer, I have stored it in somewhere here. I will add it. So we are ready to run again. These are the mistakes we initially do. We got another error. Let us see. We will restart once and check it. Oh, for web applications, you have to copy that jar file in the lib folder also. See, all software Java OJDBC. You have to copy this into the lib libraries. Then only it will work. I didn't copy that. That's the problem. Okay, can you see? Don't forget to add the ojdbc.jar in the lib folder. Now we'll retest. Oops, still we are getting some error. Oh, I forgot to create the statement. st is equal to con dot create statement. Okay, I think this should be the last error. Hope so. No, as usual I made the same mistake which I did in previous tutorials. The column name is employee ID, not EMP ID. So finally we got the result. So let me just tell you, explain. When we click on this show all employees, the request will go to the servlet. The servlet will call the get all employees method in the model, and the employee list will be added to the request scope with this name, and then after that I am forwarding to the employee list.jsp. So in the employee list.jsp, whatever the attribute I have used here, I have to get with that. So I got the list from the request attribute. I have added the list in the servlet. So in the JSP I am getting that and iterating using scriptlet and displaying this information using the expression tag. This is called expression tag, percentage equal to. So whenever I say percentage equal to employee.getEmployee ID, the getEmployeeID method will be invoked and the value will be returned to the browser. Means output will be returned to the browser between this TD tag. Hope you understood the MVC and how to use the servlet, JDBC, JSP combination. Thank you.